The other thing they're going to talk about is UAPs. They're going to release all the UAP information. So you're the guy to ask about this. What if any possibility is there that there is some sort of advanced propulsion system technology that's being worked on in secret? And that they're trying to cover this up with this talk of aliens and alien tech and not of this world. And is it possible that there's some sort of very secret program that's going on in cahoots with some defense contractors that are developing advanced propulsion systems that they're using for these drones?
I mean, SpaceX, you know, my company SpaceX has the most advanced rocket technology in the world. I think I'd know.
Right.
And to the best of my knowledge, there is not any magic. There's not like some super advanced propulsion technology.
There have been people who have theorized different gravity drives and different things. Is there anything that's ever gotten past the theoretical stage?
No.
Nothing.
Well, there's nothing even that I'm aware of that works in theory. It's not like I would like this to exist, to be clear. I would like this to exist. And I have from a security clearance standpoint, I have top secret. I have equivalent of like an all access pass from a security clearance standpoint. So I don't think they're hiding it from me, basically. I don't think they could.
Unless it's completely in these weapons manufacturing corporations.
I mean, I know these weapons manufacturing companies, like Boeing.
Those companies are, owned by the cabal.
Like Northrop, I mean, yeah, they do some interesting things, but they do not have, there's no breakthrough that they have.
So
he's basically saying, no, there's no zero gravity. They don't have any of that technology. He's completely saying no to the whole disclosure.
I'm confident they do not have a breakthrough.
When you hear...
Listen to that. He says, I'm confident that they don't have any of that.
Like, why don't they just compete with SpaceX and make a better rocket? In which case,
right.
They can make. Why are they holding back on making a lot of money from beating SpaceX with better rockets?
My thought.
Why are they holding back? I think he would know the answer, but check on Rogan. Rogan seems to know more than he does. Rogan knows a lot because he's been talking to everybody in this disclosure movement. Not everybody, but some of them. And now he's sharing all that he knows with Elon. Check it out.
Was that, what if it's just a drone and you can't have a biological entity inside of it because it just bursts from the fucking speed that it's moving at? That a human couldn't tolerate the amount of force. So they're just drones.
I don't think so.
So what do you think people like Ryan Graves and Commander David Fravor...
I want cool things to exist.
Right.
Check out, Rogan's like, come on, like, what about the guys that were on the congressional hearings for disclosing UAP? David Grush, Ryan Graves, and look at Elon's reaction.
Do I want UFOs to exist? Yes, I want UFOs to exist because that would be really interesting.
Of course, everybody does.
He says, I want them to exist. Dude, they exist. They've been caught by radar. It's like, what are we talking about?
Yeah.
It'll be cool.
It's a more boring world where UFOs don't exist, or like flying, like advanced propulsion stuff.
It's a more boring world where UFOs don't exist. So he's basically telling you, oh, it's a boring world. They don't exist.
Doesn't exist. If it doesn't exist, that's more boring. It'd be more interesting if it did exist. I'd like it to exist. I hope we find something, but I have not seen.
Dude, I hope we find something. I mean, I'm sure your satellites have definitely found something. If NASA has found it, and they have even said, oh yeah, we've caught something, but we don't know what it is. Even NASA, which is the worst, have left a little door open because they know more than they let out to the public, but they left that fruit hanging, but you're not even leaving a fruit hanging. He's completely denying everything.
Like, I mean, like SpaceX has launches 90% of all satellite mass to orbit. So if you take all of Earth's all of Earth's rocket launches, my company has a 90% market share of Earth. China does about 5%, and the rest of the world is, including the Boeing, Lockheed, Northrop, and everyone, does 5%. So why wouldn't they use this to defeat SpaceX?
Well, it's not about defeating SpaceX. It's a different parallel civilization using that kind of technology. Now, why are you not talking about it if you have all the knowledge of what Skunk Works, Lockheed Martin, everybody's doing, like you said, and you have the clearance?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes
Why
sense.
would they all
No,
buy?
listen, that's why I asked you. It would make sense. What do you think these people are
We're launching
seeing?
a rocket every 2 days.
But what do you think these people are seeing when you have reliable people like Commander David Fravor, who had that infamous TIK Tok, Tic Tac experience, off the coast of San Diego, where they got this thing on video, they tracked it going 50,000 feet above sea level to 50 feet in like a second.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. And then they also have video evidence of this thing accelerating at a great speed, eyewitness accounts from two different
Okay.
jets.
Sure. I mean, does anyone have a high-res video or photo of this thing?
Well, there's
Look at that. Oh, he waited to respond. He's like, "Oh yeah, sure." Like, does anybody have a high tech uh, recording of this stuff? Are you effing kidding me? Like, you don't have to even rely on that one. I mean, just look at the movie where the documentary where all these scientists put together the most sophisticated equipment to track down UFOs that were coming from the coast of Catalina Island by in the west coast. The name of the movie is
A tear in the
and
sky.
that alone is like a lot of footage. I mean, I'm just shocked at his response. Look at it and keep an eye on his expressions.
a video of this thing where they're locked onto it and then it takes off, it shoots off
Is it
out of
high-res?
frame. No,
Okay.
no, it's like whatever the systems they used on fighter jets in 2004. Essentially like Windows
I mean,
95.
there's like somebody did a curve of like the resolution of UFOs and the
Mhm.
resolution of cameras.
Now he's making fun. He's talking about resolution, dude. It's not about resolution. It's the equipment in their machinery that is catching all of this.
The UFO resolution has stayed flat,
Right.
despite megapixels and cameras going like, super high.
Well, according to Christopher Mellon,
Why are they still blurry?
Christopher Mellon, who worked in the State Department, said
And he's laughing. Oh, why are they so blurry? This is just unacceptable.
that they have high resolution photos and videos of these things, and that's all that he's seen it. It's all locked away. Whenever people say that to me, I'm like, don't even tell me that then. Don't, unless you have,
Just leak it, for God's sake.
put it out there.
Yeah.
Like, let it slip.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, there's a couple photos. They're grainy. There's not one thing that I've ever looked at and go, holy fuck, that's it.
Look,
That's what I've been looking
you
for.
could ask our Grok AI right now to create a high-res image of,
Yeah.
of an alien spacecraft, over Austin.
Yeah.
And it's going to do a great job.
Yeah.
So why do we not have at least that?
Right.
He's like, oh, okay, well, let's do an AI version of that. Why don't we at least do that? No, hundreds and thousands now of people from the Navy, from the military itself, from different divisions of it, have come out from not only Air Force, but talking like not only military but also public, like just regular pilots from regular airlines.
Yeah, but I want to believe. That's the problem. My brain starts going, oh, come on, this is no fun. I want it to be real. I want there to be at least be some advanced propulsion system. If not, like, what are all these people seeing? Like, what is happening if we're not being occasionally visited by things that are smart enough to hide?
We might be. It's just that these aliens are very subtle.
Yeah, you keep saying that. It's a good.
Look at that. He said we might be, but they're just very subtle. Are you serious? They're not being subtle anymore. So why are we? Everything that Rogan is throwing at Elon, he debunks it with like a joke.
Line.
I mean,
it's a solid line because it's pretty accurate.
I just want to see some high-res video of aliens.
Look, how are they just
again high resolution? We have it in satellite. That has nothing to do with being on tape on a video.
Evading all the cameras. If you think about that, and the ones that you do get them on, it's just like some faraway light that's moving weird, and it could be a lot of things. But I want to believe.
Yeah, I mean, there've been like multiple times where, you know, the Air Force and Navy has called SpaceX and said they think they've seen aliens, and we're like, was it at this time, on this date, in this location? They're like, yes. How'd you know? That's us.
Well, there's been a lot of
That's
that.
our satellites. That's our satellites.
Again, debunking further, like saying, "Oh no, it's us."
They're like, no, they're not. I'm like, yeah, they're definitely our satellites.
Oh yeah, people see the SpaceX satellites all the time whizzing by.
Yeah, they're our satellites, and they are moving at 16,000 miles an hour. So it's pretty fast.
No, we have equipment that will tell you every single airline, every single flight, every single plane that is out there. It will differentiate of what is a plane and what's a satellite. It's all mapped out. If you get one of those apps, that will tell you what it is. And so I don't know what his point is. People that are a little bit more professional, when they get their equipment, they can get that and it will tell them exactly what it is. And when it's a UAP, a UFO, it's it's not identified. And the police was even searching now when they had the drones issues now this year, in the beginning of this year, and their satellite is pretty sophisticated. And they were unidentified, my friend.
And there's also stuff that the United States government does have that gets mistaken for UFOs. I remember the first time I saw a stealth bomber. We were filming Fear Factor. It was like right after 2003, like right after the war had broken off. And they were flying a stealth bomber down in Palmdale. I was like, holy shit. Like, if I didn't know what that was, I would 100% think that's from another world. When you see that thing flying,
cool.
Fucking cool.
Yeah.
Really cool. I mean, it doesn't look like a human's. It looks like something from Battlestar Galactica. You know?
It does look awesome. I mean, they're not stealthy against any advanced radar system, by the way. It doesn't work.
It doesn't work anymore?
It doesn't work, no.
Was it old school stuff?
They're only stealthy against old radars.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, you can still see them, like they're not invisible.
Right.
They're not like, it's not like, cloaking device from Star Trek.
Did you see when me and Lex we watched the rocket get caught live while it was happening? That to me was one of the to see it actually. I've seen videos of it happen, but to see it actually live was one of the coolest fucking things. You're like, wow, we are in the future.
Right.
Yeah, it's true. Nobody else can do that. That's fact.
Yeah.
It's pretty wild.
It's because I'm an alien. So what's this time of year?
I thought about
I'm an alien, and I keep telling people I'm an alien, but they don't believe me.
I believe you.
Okay, thank you.
I believe you. That's my suspicion all along. Was that
I'm just trying to get back to my home planet.
That you're a friendly alien. Like, it's nothing wrong with aliens. I like people from everywhere.
Yeah.
Even another planet.
Yeah, it's been known that he does have alien genetics. He was born a human, but genetic manipulated. But the bottom line here is he has knowledge about a lot of things, but he just completely debunked everything. Joe Rogan has a lot of information coming from whistleblowers he has interviewed, so he has a very open mind. Joe Rogan is coming to him like, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? And Elon just like debunked everything. Like, no, I don't believe it. And now at the end, he makes fun, like, oh, okay, I'm an alien. So what makes me mad, and I'm sorry, this is really important. He Joe Rogan gave him the opportunity to come out and say something in this disclosure movement, right? It's like give us something, like I said, a little hanging fruit. Like, yeah, like I've seen the videos, I've seen all of and yeah, this is a big possibility that we've have had contact with UFOs, and yes, what they went to Congress, the military people that are whistleblowers, they definitely have a lot of information that have been captured by equipment such as satellites, but no, he didn't let up on one thing, which leads me to to get very very disappointed with his non-compliance to anything. Like he's not like agreeing to anything, and that is so disappointing. He had the chance to come out and say something. He was given a public platform that reaches millions of people, and yet he decided to squash everything. And that's very unfortunate. And people keep saying, oh, he's coming here doing great things. You can watch the rest of Joe Rogan. Yeah, he's like, oh, I'm Xing this, I'm doing this in the government with, with DOGE. But yeah, like we all want to have more efficiency, of course. And he said, oh, I put out the receipts. What he's putting out is actually not the spreadsheet. If you hire an accountant, what do? Get the accountant to show you everything that was cut, everything that he's saving, everything that was over budget. He shows you, or she shows you, the accountant, the math, right? And that's why we have spreadsheets and a lot of programs to do all of that spreadsheet. And then you run through the computer and you get to all these numbers, right? So basically, they are not providing that. Why aren't they being they're not being so transparent? It's so easy. He's like, look at all the fraud that I found. This was here, and this was what they were doing, and this is what that happened. But he's just talking about these stories, but really not showing us the math. And then what happens? Oh, we made a mistake. It wasn't 3 billion, it's 2 billion. Oh, it's actually it's like, then they come out with these other stories, pulling back to their discoveries, right? Everything is not being disclosed correctly. People are getting fooled. So we want all of this to come onto the light. Show us the money, show us the math, show us the spreadsheet, and that's what we need to see. So this way we can, show it to our accountant, the federal accountants, the specialists. So all the financial institutions, all the financial specialists can look into uh, what you are doing. So just don't keep all that information within yourselves. And that's what we're asking. Be transparent. So the transparency is not coming. Their website, where supposedly all of that should be, shows you like these numbers, like a receipt, right? But that's not what an accountant will show you, all right? The accountant needs to show you the whole spreadsheet and show you exactly what was cut, why, how, when, where, and what. Those are the questions and answers. Well, those are the questions we should be posing, and those are the answers that they should be giving us. So the whole Rogan show was like, how I'm being attacked. Poor me, and this is just totally unacceptable what is going on, and this is my point of view.
Finally.
This is actually, the ball starts with this person. I'm not going to get into politics, but the point here was about us talking about his non-disclosure, and Mr. And this gentleman here, the president, he also said, "I'm going to disclose everything on day one about what the drones are," and he came out and simply said the most ridiculous thing, that everything that we see in the sky was FAA approved, and that is far, far from the truth, because the government doesn't know themselves exactly what was happening. And so it's just more lies on top of more lies, and this is all very frustrating. So I'm sorry I sound very frustrating, because it is. It's very important. Disclosure comes from the bottom up, from the grassroots up. It's a movement. It's never going to come from the government, and that's what I wanted to say. So please keep on going forward with the disclosure movement, because again, everybody's starting to see it with their own eyes, and people are starting to awaken. But again, it's from the grassroots up, because the government, as you're saying, just wants to put a lid on it, just wants to like not give you the information. But at the end of the day, the presidents, they don't know anything. So I would give that to Mr. Trump. He's clueless. He, not only him, but all the presidents before, they don't get the disclosure. This is in the other secret space program, ICC, all the conglomerates. They have the information, like skunkworks, like Elon and Rogan were talking about. So, but Elon, knowing their projects, and of course, he has his satellites as well. So, from Skylink, and Skylink has a support of aliens as well, which are basically helping him out with that technology. So, I'm not sure why he had to do that, but the fact that he didn't give us anything on the contrary, he made things like as if they don't exist. Oh, we have high resolution? So this was a disgraceful statement that he gave when he had the opportunity to add to the disclosure movement. And I'm here to always disclose everything as it is. So this is a video, and you're seeing what it is, and I'm just here relating the information that is in front of you to see. So you can watch the video and now give a different perspective. If you want to distort what this news is, please, everybody has the right to have their own point of view. I'm just actually giving you a narrative of what just happened here. It is crazy. All right, enough of my narrative here, but I'm sending you love. Stronger together. Please always remember that together we are stronger. What does that mean? It doesn't matter what party you have, what beliefs you are. We need to find a common ground where we will unite in those points, and then together we will make a better world. Right now, it's simply chaos. Sending you love. Bye.